to Three Wicked Magpie. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading for the solar eclipse in Libra. So, which is happening tomorrow, October 14th. I believe in most places it will start around 10 a.m. or so. So you can check that out with glasses so your eyes don't get hurt. Anywho, let's get going. So this is pile 1, the Minchiati Tarot with the devil on the front. Pile 2, the DC Tarot. And pile 3, the Hocus Pocus Tarot deck. So think about it for a minute. You might not be able to because the eclipse have much time anyway to do so, but it's in Libra. That's why I'm saying decisions, things going on in the cosmos. Okay. All right, we're gonna go pile 1. So pile 1. You chose the Minchiati. So, pile 1. There's some sort of getting defensive here about something. This is very impulsive energy as well. So you might suddenly feel like a little bit of passion and drive to a little more feisty than usual. All these cards here are all very energetic, impulsive kind of energies. We have the Fool. There's a new beginning coming in. There is some sort of risk or some sort of venture of some kind that you are yourself starting. There's something here going to begin for you soon in this time period of the eclipse. It might have been an action or a risk that you took just recently because it is the first card, or it is also the past placement in this kind of spread. So I think you started something in the past. Presently, you're trying to stay on top of it. It's like you are trying to keep the fire going with something. You're trying to keep something, you're trying to keep the energy in something. You're trying to keep something, keep the passion and the drive. There might be competition involved with this. It's feeling super creative or super physically energetic. So this could be some kind of physical hobby or activity that you do, or some sort of job that's very physical that you began. I'm thinking more of a passion though. There's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of attracting energy here. So maybe you're newly single, if this is what you're looking here for. And there's a lot of attention that you're getting, and there's this kind of almost kind of slight overwhelm from the amount of energies that are coming at you at this time. Seven of Wands is somebody who's achieved something great, been recognized for it by others. Others are seeing this. And now that hooray party has passed for the celebration of this achievement or your achievements. And now it's almost like, now how do I keep that good feeling? How do I keep that good praise? How do I keep up the good work that people are noticing or did notice? I feel like with the Jack of Clubs here, looking down at his previous accomplishments, he's attained a level of success, and he's now either beginning on the next level of his journey, but he's starting out at the bottom of the hierarchy. He's not quite a queen. He's not even a knight yet. So, well, no, he's not quite a queen yet. I don't know what that meant. That could mean something specific for somebody. He has attained this big thing in his life, but now he's starting out at the new job, in the new relationship, in the new place, just feeling like the new kid on the block. He's got the ego. He remembers that energy of success, and he's very hungry for that attention and acclaim again, and he knows how to attract it, or at least he thinks he does. And so there's this kind of I don't know. The Fool is looking this way, but or the card is facing this way, the direction of the card is facing this way, but she's looking back over her shoulder. She's like not even caring, like paying attention to what she's doing. Before, you might have had first or beginner's luck with something. You're like, look, Mom, no hands. And then you were successful. Like you've got this acclaim, this achievement, this recognition, this praise from other people. And now you're looking back to a time when things weren't as competitive, or things weren't as serious. I think that the game has changed a little bit, and maybe you're feeling like a little bit not overwhelmed, because I feel like there's still a lot of confidence. There might be even a bit too much confidence in certain areas, but it seems like I don't know. I just noticed there's spiders in this chandelier here, and he looks like he's about to swat something. I feel like maybe people are kind of getting in your spotlight in some way. there's something here about trying to defend what you previously have, the attention you previously got for something. And you kind of like are like kind of swatting those people away. Like, it also could be that if you have become well known for something, that there is this sort of, now I wish I just had some time to myself to do what I want without the extra pressure added to my creative projects or something from, now being successful. There's something here about that. Like, please leave my projects alone. Please leave my process. It's like you want time for your process, and you can't really get it because there's now other people involved in whatever you're doing. Whether that be people telling you can't go outside because you're super famous, for example, if you're a celebrity or something. Or people telling you, oh, well, we have this deadline that we have to meet. Can you just tweak whatever you're doing? Or there's people that are just, you're in high demand here. And you're feeling like this new level is a bit, maybe slightly intimidating, but you're confident enough to know that you're going to grow and you're going to change and you're going to attract even more opportunities. This is just kind of a passing present moment type situation. Your actions at this time are more on the defense, but I don't think you had any defense here. I don't think you had any cares in the world here. You were just doing what came natural to you. What you, at the spur of the moment, felt like was a good idea. But here we're actually seeing how we can attract what we desire and hold on to that and make that work for us in the future. And somehow you feel like somebody is tainting, there's like a tainting of, the word mar came to my mind yesterday. And it's like a tainting or a spoiling of something. You might be getting a little bit irritated, upset, that somebody is kind of ruining a moment for you, or kind of complicating something that is supposed to be like something that was successful for you, and you want it to continue to feel that special kind of feeling, and now it's work. So you might have recently taken something that you really loved doing and made it into a job, or started to work in the field that you really were passionate about working in, and now you're seeing that there's a lot of passion still, but there's these little tiny things that are kind of mixed in with that now, that are kind of almost complicating things, or making things not as desirable to you, or maybe making things less perfect than you'd like them to be. This also, the spider is about creating something to bring and attract things in, like I said about attraction. And this guy's all about attraction. So you might be looking for that same spark that once pulled people to you in a way. You're looking for to reconnect with that and to bring that back in some sort of way. Maybe brainstorming new creative ideas in order to get the attention or grab the attention of others. And it seems to be a little bit more competitive, or there's other people involved that are making this more complicated. But with the 7 of Wands, and then I see the Page holding the 8th wand, there's a lot of communication coming in. There'll be a lot of quick changes and movements made. There's a lot of action and moving the pieces around in order to attain and achieve this masterpiece that you're working on. You're at the brainstorming stages of the second draft, I think, or the second stage of something. You've written the screenplay, you've gotten the acclaim for the writing, and now you're trying to put that into action and make that movie that you've always wanted to make. Now, obviously, not all of you are doing that. You're going to have to fit it where it applies in your life. But I see here that there's at least 3 elements, 3 things that are maybe, or actually 4. There might be a 4th thing that is kind of, that you might not be aware of, that's missing from the puzzle, or that needs to be further looked at in order to achieve the same kind of recognition. It's a competitive thing that you're doing, I'm thinking. This is also trying to bring different types of people together in order to create something, to harmonize something as well. I'm getting that. For some reason, I'm seeing sneakers. Shoes are coming up. I know that she's, but I'm just drawn to her sneakers for some reason. I don't know if this is like something to do with dance, something to do with actual like fashion of some kind. He's also looking down, and I'm noticing his sneakers aren't being seen. So there could be something where, yeah, in the beginning you were seen for something, and now you're feeling like you're not getting the same amount of recognition, but you're brainstorming on how to do that. I kind of want to pull one more card just to get a little more clarity here. Can I have another card for the Page of Clubs, the Jack of Clubs, for pile 1? Gave me quite a bit, but I'm going to take, oh wow, it gave me a lot. Okay. I'll take the 5 of Potions. I'll take one more card. That's not one more card. Okay. They're new, so they're, I love matte cards too. They actually do work pretty good. Brand new cards. Okay. Yeah. So the 5 of Potions, 5 of Cups. Okay. 5 of Cups is about some loss, grieving loss, having emotional sorrow over something, disappointment. And what happens when it hits the Hermit, and I kept seeing that Virgo energy in here. I wish I had said something, because I was like, there's something here about analyzing or criticizing, I feel like other people might be not seeing creative um, your creative concept, your your vision, your passion, your vision. Maybe now is not being reciprocated as well by others, or maybe there's a lot of other people that are involved in a project or a community or whatever it is, and they're adding their element to this piece, which is tainting what you initially had in mind or were very passionate about bringing forth. So there's like, or something has not come out exactly the way you would want it to, and you're being super hypercritical of just what you've attracted, just what you've created here. So I feel like you're going to take some time to go off and analyze the situation further and see what isn't working for you anymore in regards to this. Or maybe you're going to, if people don't like the plans that you've or the brainstorming that you're coming up with, or your creative concept, you're going to go off on your own and go solo in some kind of way, looking for others who share the same kind of vision that you do, for the future of this project, for your future. There's something here about grieving, being sad that something isn't working out the way you wanted it to, but in the end, finding, keeping your own faith and truth to help guide you or guide others to what your truth is. There's something here about also before you were seeking attention, and now you are leaving the door open for others to come and join you on this journey that you're on, or with this passion project that you're doing. But you're not. It's not like you're anticipating it. You're just focused on finding yourself and keeping true to what you believe and what means something to you, in order to, hopefully you have the hope that somebody will come along and see things the same way you do, or resonate with things the way you do. All right, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed your reading. We're going to go into pile 2 now. Pile 2, if you chose the DC Tarot, my tablecloth is bunching up. This is your reading. Now this one got 4, so I'm going to do it this way. Another 7 of Clubs. And 10 of Cups. There is something going on here having to do with family, for sure, family. or legacy or career, but I'm feeling family vibes. If this isn't just about the family, it could be about what legacy you're creating. Excuse me. And that legacy could be something that either family is not willing to put and invest in, this is also about helping family that is in troubled times. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse is, for me, it can mean dysfunctionality in a family setting. It can also be about having created a legacy that is missing something on the emotional front for you. There's a lack of emotional support when it's in reverse about this. This could be also a delay in some sort of inheritance or familial funds. And when I see charity there, I see that there is a giving and a receiving, some sort of charitable thing or some sort of donation, something here where somebody is giving somebody else something. And with the Ten of Cups there, I feel like it's definitely family related because the Ten of Pentacles is on the table. There is this, again with the Seven of Clubs, pile 1 also got the Seven of Wands as well. And there's a competition to keep your ground about something with the Seven of Wands. I've achieved something and now I'm having to defend my beliefs, my passions towards some kind of ideal or concept, something that I want to attract into my life, that I desire, and having to kind of work harder to make people see your value in regards to something, or to get the positive attention that you desire, or attract the positive energy that you are wanting to attract. So to be seen as well, it's about being seen for what you have been creating. So there could have been some sort of dispute with family that you won, but now it seems like there's more conflict within the situation or more responsibility involved, and it's creating more of a challenge. It's showing itself to be more work. There's more added to your plate because of this previous victory of some kind. Now, this could be having to do with an inheritance where there was a delay on some sort of money coming towards you. And then there's this Ten of Cups here, which is complete happiness and joy and fulfillment of spirit and having created the dream. Maybe there's some sort of really great, happy moment that had just happened or is going to happen, and you're going to feel, you can see somebody is like, I am victorious in the back. And because I know this isn't a court card, it's not a court related card in the tarot, but it's giving me that kind of court vibes. So it's something to do with legal paperwork, contracts, negotiations. Something official was involved in this, and you got to a certain level of achievement where you celebrated something. This could have to do with a home as well, because I do have the family. I do see there's some sort of in the pillars here. I feel like maybe you are in the buying process of a home or inheriting a home, and it's been delayed. There was a delay in the past, and you were waiting to receive something, and now you've achieved some sort of milestone with this process. And now you're having to keep up the faith and the trust and the energy in order to keep fulfilling what needs to be fulfilled, which is not yet fulfilled, in order to achieve this next full victory or attainment. There's also this victory may have added some sort of responsibilities to your plate. There could be a couple more things now that you're having to juggle because you've had this major happy victory in your life. This gift is something that requires maintenance. There's a maintaining of whatever this is. So this could be a car. With Charity, I'm getting the Chariot, but it's a different deck, so it has different cards. So this could be a car, this could be a home, this could be a mobile home. This is something that you are getting, that you are going to have to continually put effort into, to maintain and achieve whatever this is. So you might have it in your hands now, but say, for example, you inherited a house, you will have to pay property taxes. You've never lived in a home maybe, and you have to pay property taxes that you've never had to pay, and you also have to, do some upkeep, construction with the house, plumbing, electricity, something, there's extra bills, there's extra responsibilities, but you're willing to rise to the challenge. You are juggling your past victory still. You're still fueled by this. I see these like little fire. I just noticed that. These are the fuel. What are they called? The brasier. Brasier. So there's this victory is, you're so happy about it. You're fueled with energy, and you're taking on a lot more than you previously had to, because you're trying to keep up with what the responsibilities that come with this blessing, this gift from family or from inheritance or whatever this is. Is there anything else that I should? Pile. Now, if this is career, it's a promotion of some sort. Somebody giving you the window office with the nice plaque. And there's just more work involved. You know, you can fit it wherever it applies, but I feel like it's career or it's tangible finances or some sort of tangible material object of some kind. Any more clarity for pile 2? We'll say the 7 of clubs. Can we have more information in the future for pile 2's solar eclipse energies? The star. Not right now, phone. Hold on. Oh my goodness. This is a dream come true with the star and the 10 of cups and the 10 of pentacles. This is you being your most vulnerable and truest self. This is you shining really bright because you're so happy about what you've achieved and the success that you're seeing from this situation. I tend to think for most of you it's in career. There's some sort of status that was delayed, and then you were given, or you will be given, some sort of, it's like that pin, that that war heroes pin, or that oh my god, purple heart. Is that what it? Yes, it's one of them. Like some sort of token that shows that you are now at this level, and this is going to make you feel so good and have you glowing from the inside out. This is star quality here as well, so if that's what you guys are into, if that's what you guys are going for, fame, fortune, all that stuff, I feel like there's something here about a career milestone that is coming into play during this time for you. And there's it's like an award, a certification, something that you can hold in your hand that you've waited a very long time for. And see how she's just sitting there, kind of she's very receptive, she's very vulnerable. You're receiving this award, it's making you very happy. Or you're receiving this house, or you're receiving this, it's just, there's something here that connects you and others as well. There's this kind of, you might be feeling very connected to the cosmos, like one with everybody else, kind of hippie energy right now, or will be. Or there is something here about just feeling like you've never felt before, about how good you feel about yourself, how good being you makes you feel. Maybe you've never really felt this before. This might be a new you coming into play. This is healing. This is, if this was a situation where there was a conflict with family over something, inheritance-wise, or there's something here about feeling completely at peace with the situation, at peace with your external and your internal world, and being able to give back. This is also generosity. This is generosity as well. Aquarius is the humanitarian, and this is the card of Aquarius. So there is some sort of gift or giving that is involved here that makes you very happy, or makes you feel good as well. If this is you giving the gift to somebody else, you're creating a lot of happiness and joy in the situation. But I feel like it's you that's the one that's... And also, I know that they're the same deck, but I'm getting like... See how she's like... She's shining and she doesn't have any cuts. She's perfect just the way she is, right? Here, I feel like there was a forcing. Somebody was forcing something. There was some sort of push to pushing to kind of force... Oh gosh, I wish I could say what I'm feeling. There was this kind of trying to get this shiny light that you see coming out of her here, but it was trying to force it out or cut it out, or it was working harder, not smarter, or not being true to yourself in the past had created difficulty with maybe your family had made it harder for you to shine in the way that, or your previous career even, that you needed to shine, that there was certain restrictions with how you could shine. Because here you see like these pumpkins, someone had to cut those, someone had to force those shapes in there in order for the light to shine through. There was something to bypass in order for you to shine the way that you naturally do. It's a natural kind of organic kind of process. You being happy, you weren't allowed to either be happy in that situation, or you weren't allowed to be yourself in that situation. And so you could only shine through whatever little window of opportunity that you got, which wasn't a lot, but the little bit of space that you had to shine through, because it's a dark situation. I feel like you know, there was some darkness around, or at one point there became some sort of dark negative or kind of hidden element to it. Like if you light a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern, and you put it out during the day, it don't matter how pretty you carved it. You ain't gonna see all that work that you put into it. I feel like nobody noticed just how much work you were doing on yourself. Or nobody noticed just how much work, or just how much you shined in some sort of way, because the timing wasn't right, or the environment wasn't right, or there's something here about now the light has kind of started to, you know, we're at twilight now, the darkness has come, and now you are shining in your element. You're in your element and able to be seen by others. And there's going to be quite a bit of attention from this, or notice from this, with the Seven of Wands and the star next to each other. You will be very happy very, very happy with the way things come out for you. There's a gift here that you're going to be given that's going to help you shine even more, or there's some sort of recognition finally from your family, from your career, from the people around you are noticing all that you've done or all that you've become in your life. And now there's this kind of radiating without anything inhibiting you. You can just totally be yourself. All right, pile 2. I love that reading. Okay. Pile 3, if you chose the Hocus Pocus Tarot deck, this is for you. Pile 3. Page of Candles. Getting big for your britches, pile 3. That's okay. Just get some new ones. I tell you guys, this eclipse is already killing me. So, what I was saying, pile 3. You have some sort of thing that you were beginning, or that you've been kind of a beginner at, I should say. Now, you could be somehow attracting some sort of communication from somebody. This person would be kind of a little bit more argumentative. I feel like there's an enticing of words here. There's maybe during this period, the eclipse, pile 3s will be kind of learning how to communicate in a less impulsive or brash kind of way. There is a great transformation that comes from some sort of action based in communication. So things could come to an end because of an argument. Things could change because something you're passionate about in terms of communication, such as writing, singing, poetry. These are all things that I see you very driven. There's a very driven energy here. So this is also about how you approach what you're passionate about. So you might be very kind of excited about starting on this new, I won't say project, I won't say venture, endeavor. We'll say endeavor. But you're trying to keep up with your feet. I feel like mentally you're not as clear about the situation as you'd like to be. Maybe you have some sort of passion for whatever you're getting into, but maybe you don't think things, or haven't been thinking things completely all the way through before you've approached a situation. Maybe this is because you're just starting out, and you don't see that there's some sort of pitfall that could come out in the future, or there's some sort of fundamental mental fundamental processing that has to be done before steps. There's some sort of steps that need to be taken, and you're eager to get going, but you're learning how to, you're still in the learning process. But because you've learned a little bit, you've gotten to a certain stage, and you want to drive yourself forward with whatever amount of knowledge that you have. I'm also seeing this as imposter syndrome. You might have been doing something for even a long time, but you still never felt quite at the level of mastery that you felt you should. Now, I don't have any Virgo energy here, but I'm feeling it. There's like this, am I really good enough? I think I should really continue to further work on this part of whatever this is that I'm doing, before I can put it out there or communicate it to the world. What I'm excited about, what I'm working on, what I'm driven to do, or what I've been hobbying about in the background. And I feel like we're always learning. I think that that's maybe what you're in two minds about something. And on one aspect, you're really confident. But when it comes to communicating or with others, or talking about what you do, you feel kind of at odds with yourself. Maybe you're afraid you'll come off as cocky, or you're afraid that people will see you as not being as mature in a situation as you should be. There is this need to kind of stake your claim on whatever you're passionate about, whatever you're eager to start or get going or have been doing for quite some time. It's as if your insecurities are leading you to communicate in an undesirable way, or they're holding you back from achieving the desired outcome that you want. The Page of Wands is somebody who isn't afraid to speak their mind. They're a little immature about how they come off to other people, but they don't mind the attention. They don't mind. Maybe this is something that you used to be like when you were a kid, or when you first started out doing something. I'm thinking more of when you were a kid. Slightly temperamental, but outspoken and brazen and confident, you know? It seems like now you're feeling like not as confident in some kind of regard, or a bit argumentative about something. It's like you're not, you want to take whatever confidence you used to have and run with it, but maybe not having all the information now about something in the future. I need more clarity. It's not working for me. That's because I got distracted. Can I have clarity on the Page of Swords? Excuse me, the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. There is fast action here that is coming in. Okay. Oh. What do you know? The Ten of Wands. And it's been eclipsed. And here, see the circle here? This is you, pile threes, in the eclipse season. I swear, that's what it's representing. And I'm even going to just take it. I know I put it over there. I'm going to take it and put it here. There is something that you've been working on for a very, very long time. Maybe you started this when you were a kid, or when you were much younger. And you've taken action on it, or you communicated about it. Maybe you felt kind of awkward. Maybe it wasn't the right time, it wasn't the right circle, there was something here that you were doing that you loved to do, that you were confident about. Maybe you got into some fights with people about it because you were kind of touchy about it, because you were so passionate and so passionate. That's the only word that's coming to my mind right now, or my mouth, I should say. So something here in the past you were working towards, or you were confident about, or you had this kind of drive to do something. You might have been kind of mouthy about it at first because you were defensive. Maybe you were bullied for it at school. There's great change here. There's like a dying of whatever has been, and a complete rebirth. There's an ending that is going to cause great change. During this eclipse season. It is upon you, pile threes. I don't know if you guys are Libras watching this, or Libra risings, but here I see you having this karmic change coming in. Like there is finally, it's like you put your old self in the ground. You have a funeral for the old you. And the challenges that you had been carrying, the burdens that you had been carrying, have completed. You put an end to all those things. The Ten of Swords. Oh, this is the Ten of Swords. I forgot. Yes. You see what I'm seeing here? There's death. I know you probably can't, but that better? All right. There's death here. I've got this grave here. And it's got a circle of salt protecting, the eclipse is what I was saying. This card eclipsed this card, right? I didn't even know this card was underneath this. There's death here. It's symbolizing this card as well. Then I have the Ten of Swords, which is about the end of a very challenging period. having been betrayed and having to move on from that betrayal. Maybe you're done betraying yourself after this period. I feel like there's something you've been doing that's caused you some strife or struggle in the past, or that you have overcome or been through so many really challenging arguments with people over something, or difficulties in your life, having to defend yourself as well and what you believe. There seems to be this great, huge death change of that. The old you will no longer be. The old you will be gone after this period is over. Who you once were, people won't even recognize you. I have a feeling that if you weren't standing up for yourself, or you were feeling insecure, or you might have turned the other cheek with challenging people or places, I feel like you're coming into this new badass version of yourself. I don't know. I just see how she's... Can you... Oh, that's frozen. Of course it's frozen. I hope you can still hear me. Little Danny in this card, the little girl in the Page of Wands, she's got the same kind of coloring to me that he's wearing. It's as if there's this going from sweet, innocent, okay, I'll turn the other cheek, I'll shy away from maybe defending myself, or there's like this, I talk a good game, but I'm a wallflower kind of mentality. But not anymore. It's like this guy is so badass, and he's got all these chains, and like he's ready to roll. He's like, see what I can do? He's not sitting down, he's moving in. He's taking action. He's in the middle of the fight, you know? I see the person that you once were, or any kind of things to do with your childhood that maybe were traumatic or challenging or unpleasant, difficult, painful. Those things are all being put to rest because of some sort of there's a finality. There's a painful realization. There is some sort of painful realization, painful realizing that something is over, in order to deal with it, to heal from it. And you bury your old self. The shell that you once were, you've grown out of, you're letting it go. I feel like I don't want to leave this on a Ten of Swords, because the Ten of Swords is like, it can be great, because then finally this horrible long-term thing that you've been going through is done, and it can't get any worse because it's already been horrible. But can I have clarity on what this transformation, what the Death card is? What does the Death card symbolize or have to do with? It's giving me 3 cards. You know what? I'm not going to take them. I need one card. Because it was 4. I was like, one card for the death card. Nope. One card. Well, I mean, this did pop up. So, it's the World. You've completed a major spiritual cycle. You've learned a lesson that you came here to learn. This is the major endings, major chapter of life. Like, you're going to look back and be like, my life has completely changed. That there's like 8 of Pentacles. There is some sort of huge, huge change coming in for you, pile 3s. Like I said, you won't recognize anything about your life after this, during this eclipse period. Whatever pain, whatever crap comes up or is climaxed during this time will be completely like, excuse my crudeness, of a fart in the wind. Like, it won't even matter because you'll be a totally different person. Maybe 6 months from now, 3 to 6 months, I think is eclipse time for a cycle. So this is the last, I feel like it's the last Taurus. Or we just had the last Taurus. Anyway, 8th house is represented here. So it could very well have to do with Taurus in the 8th. If you're a Libra rising watching this, this will resonate with you. Because the Knight of Swords here, I feel like I'm getting very Taurus vibes from that, even though it's not really supposed to be. It's just because the hooves, I think. But there is this huge change you're going through. Something uncomfortable might happen. There could be some agitation. Somebody could poke something deep within you that kind of starts, it's the catalyst for this immense transformation that you're going through, that you're destined to go through with the Wheel of Fortune. And the World reunites us back to spirit, right? So we come around full circle again and we start over with the Fool. You did it. You've made it to the finish line with something, and you're not going to be able to recognize yourself. And it definitely has to do with, I did say Virgo, right? Please tell me I said Virgo. Somebody wrote down in the comments. Yes, I think that I said that this was a very Virgoan also before. Now I'm seeing Taurus here. So this is Mercury and Virgo, I believe. Mercury and Virgo, the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is about, it's the most talented representation. Like, it is achievement of mastery, like a refining and editor. It's an exquisite kind of, it's a brand kind of card where we have like shoes at Walmart or high heels at Walmart, and then we have Christian Louboutin. This is like the Christian Louboutin card of like, I am a perfectionist at what I do. I have a certain set of sequential order I do things in, or a certain flair that I do things in. I am working hard and I'm staying up late and I'm exhausted, but I'm so focused on what I'm doing that I lose track completely of time. And here with the Wheel of Fortune, this is about time, and the World is about spiritual time. So this is about physical timing meeting divine timing. Okay? And like I said, this fortunate thing is eclipsing out, is covering this painful culmination. So there's like this, either you might go through a betrayal. I don't want to say that you are going to be betrayed, because not all of you will. Some of you will betray yourselves, some of you will be betrayed by a friend, some of you will be betrayed by a job, or some of you will feel like you betrayed your own path in some sort of way, but you haven't. So no matter how hard things get, make sure that you just know that whatever you've been doing, whatever ending happens because of some sort of challenging event or some challenging culmination in your life that causes disruption, right? I don't feel like there's disruption following that. I feel like this is just saying it's time for this painful cycle to end. It's time for these, whoever's wasn't being on your team, wasn't on team pile 3, whoever wasn't backing you, or wasn't your people, or wasn't your relationship, or wasn't your job, whatever happens, that was totally divinely guided to happen. And here I see that you have been working on something, whether it has anything to do with this argument or this problem here. You've been working on something, whether it's self-mastery, whether it's, I feel like it has to do with money or something tangible. You're crafting something in your life, or you have been doing something, maybe at night, as like a side job, a side hustle, a hobby, something here that you thoroughly enjoy doing, and that you're getting really good at, like to the point where people would pay you for this, or maybe you already get paid for this, but you're getting noticed for your hard work or something after this period. There is a transformation where you go from being a little kid to being like a super villain, or like the good witch to the bad witch, the badass witch, the baddie. I don't know. There's something here about it. It's like something catalyzes you into your power. The 8 of, the death card is about power, right? It's about latent kind of power in the darkness, from the depths, from the subconscious. It's about those creepy crawly things in the night. This time of year is we're coming into this death, right? The dying of the old, the leaves fall from the trees, it gets cold in some parts of the world. Things prepare to die. I think that the old you is preparing to die, or is dying, and that the new you is coming into play. For the first time, you're getting on that center stage in a way that you've never gotten on it before, pile 3. And you're showing what you're made of, and you're bringing it to the world. You're bringing it out into the open. Maybe you got teased for this in the past when you were a kid. I just feel like there was bullying here. It really annoys me. There was bullying in the past. It seems like you're protected from whatever backstab, betrayal, pain that you've had. See how she's protected? Your inner child is protected. You're protected. With this ending, with this new beginning that comes with this ending. There is rebirth here. There is the phoenix rising from the ashes. Your life up until this point, I feel like you've been burning, you've been on fire with something. You've been on fire with something and playing it cool. And now, and that can take it as like fire is passion, or fire is like the burn of the painful situations that you've been through. And now you're taking that fire, you've transmuted it in some sort of way into some sort of pretty package. There's something here that was born, a passion that was born of all this challenging crap that you've been through. This is also the 8. So the 8 and the 8, 88. 88 master number, I think. 88, power, divine power as well. So this is a very powerful reading. This third pile. I mean, they all were great, but this is like really, oof. Something here about your own power, coming into your own power, showing people what you're made of, what power you possess, how you can. These are power moves as well. And this is having done it by candlelight in the darkness. So by the time you get it out into the sun for people to see, they don't even know. Like, they won't even, they're going to gasp at whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been really harnessing here. But there's great change, and with great change comes kind of a little bit of grief, right? I feel like whatever pain is, like, you're going through growing pains right now. I feel like you've outgrown your own body. You've outgrown your own fishbowl, and it's gonna explode. I just see it like exploding here. Like, you're like, boom, here I am. With something in your life, either a big aspect of your life or just something specific. And the world is noticing this somehow. There is some sort of, this change is being seen by the world, or there is a great change within the world because of something that you've created, or you do, or you've worked hard to do, or you're very powerful in creating change in the world in some sort of way. All right, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Happy solar eclipse in Libra. And I will see you hopefully before Halloween. I'll put another reading out. All right, take care, guys. Bye.